like to talk?
Let's see, put it down.
Looks like tea, okay?
It could be tea.
It's just really dark brown. It looks like coffee.
It's really dark brown, yeah.
There you
It's not
go.
coffee,
She
it's
means
tea.
that coffee, man.
It's green tea.
Green tea.
Well, here we are. Another podcast, senor.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Not bad. That's not bad
You
at
know
all.
what?
man.
I talked to some people about podcasts last time. I think it was last week. This kid said, "Yeah, I knew I had a podcast too." I'm like, "Oh, how was it, dude? What'd you guys talk about?" Well, we talked about gaming. We talked about a little bit about sports gaming. I don't know, gambling. I'm like, cool. It sounds really cool. How long did you guys go? He's like, "Well, we recorded 5 shows." Okay, how many did you air? 1.
What happened to the other
I
4?
was like, "What happened to the other ones?" And he's like, "It just didn't work out." I'm like, "Nah, man, you gotta commit to it. You gotta." That's why we did. We're gonna commit. We made the commitment. We're not gonna tap out at 4
Right.
or 5.
Right.
I mean, whatever. Something happened to that guy. Maybe, personal issues, whatever. But I was just like, why would you give us so early? I mean,
It's a lot of work.
but you need body of work to get criticized or get.
Yeah, that's true. But it is a lot of
critiqued.
work.
It is. Yeah.
Behind the camera, I mean, people watching us or hearing us,
Two dudes having.
they
a
don't
good
know
time.
what goes into it, I guess.
Right.
But, I mean, maybe he didn't have all the help.
Possibly. Well, probably they're just drinking and having a good time and recording themselves, and they're like, "Oh, we sound like a-holes."
Yeah, let's not air this.
Yeah.
yeah. That's probably what happened.
But anyways, no offense, brother, if you're listening, because he said he wasn't listening.
What was his name?
No offense, I forgot your name. But I'll see you tomorrow.
That's even worse, man. Buddy.
But anyways, what'd you think about the episode with Chico?
Oh, with Chico? That
Chico.
dude was cool,
Yeah,
man.
he was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool talking to him. The whole story about my sisters and how my niece and nephews.
That's what you opened with, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool because I went back and I was telling my sisters about it and stuff. I was like, yeah, we had a really cool time. Check it out. And so yeah, it was a good conversation. Just learning about what he's doing for the community was.
I
pretty
really
cool.
like what he's doing for the community. I really do, because there's we've been missing that. So it's hard nowadays to focus on working with your community, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. Is like I told you the other day, a long time ago, I wrote down on a piece of paper, what are you doing for your community? Put it down on my nightstand, went to sleep. When I woke up, it was right there. I got it, crumbled it up, threw it in the trash. But it never left my mind. It was always in the back of my mind.
Right.
Those are little things that I do, just to kind of remember important things like that, or ideas. And that's when this thing came up, and this is one of the things that I'm going to do for my community.
Yeah.
Create a platform for other people to come in here and
Right.
spit their game.
And like we were talking the other day, just us eventually getting out there with our community and doing that.
Yeah, it's not just this. Yeah, we have to get out there
Civic
and
duty.
actually do something. Even if we're just out there picking up trash at the park, at the local park. If that means picking up the actually trash, the dudes that are there hanging out and throw their ass out there.
Yeah.
Because they're hanging out way too much. These guys,
Yeah, get some muscle in there.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it very well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear feedback from our listeners or viewers.
Yeah.
See, man.
Yeah. You guys feel free to comment.
That's right.
Feel free to throw those comments in there, man. Even if it's constructive criticism. I always
Right.
get that.
Right. Constructive criticism.
Yeah.
In case you guys are wondering, my name's Fidel.
I'm Israel. Last time I said Izzy.
You did say Israel,
Yeah.
but we're going to keep it with Israel.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever you guys want.
And you guys are watching and listening to How We Talk Podcast. All one word if you want to search for it. Make sure you do search for it. Click subscribe, share, review, comment, all that good stuff. Support us. We'll support you.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a good
100%.
motto. It's a good motto, right?
Support me. I'll support you.
Yeah.
Scratch my back. I'll scratch yours.
All that good stuff.
All that. I'll stop there before we.
Right, yeah.
It gets crazier.
I don't want to make you uncomfortable. That is my hand down there.
Hands up.
Hey, how was your weekend?
It was cool. It was real cool. It's just I work weekends, so I get one day off, one day on. But it was cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, other than stuff going on in my life, my personal life, and you know the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm all good, man.
You're all good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What about you?
Good, man. Celebrated at 37. Remember,
That's
we were
right.
talking about that. So the last time you guys all heard, we celebrated at 37.
That's right, man.
You know, had some drinks with some friends and family. A little bit of wings.
Wings.
My favorite.
That is your favorite.
Yeah,
I asked Lily that. Are these his favorite wings?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Say, what do you want to eat? Your last meal. You're gonna die. It's your last meal. Beer and wings.
Really?
Oh yeah. Dude.
Oh no, man.
Oh, I'm a beer.
You know what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Lobster.
I
Or
like lobster,
or
but-
crab legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Really?
Crab legs and like really good sweet tea, like the perfect sweet tea. Yeah.
Damn, we're just two different people. You know.
That's all right.
That's cool. It
That's
works.
Right. Imagine if we were the same.
Yeah. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. We'd
It
be
would-
bumping heads.
Yeah, nah. But beer and wings.
Beer and wings. What's wrong with
Right.
that?
No, nothing.
One of the meals that I have, dude, after once a year, I go to this truck show.
Mhm.
I volunteer at a truck show once a
Mhm.
year. After that truck show, it's so busy, dude, doing all kinds of stuff. Me and Rudy, you know my friend Rudy,
Right.
Rudy Guzman, he's out there listening right now. We go and have wings, and I have beer. He has water. Or
You just said Rudy, and I had an image of purple toes.
purple.
He'll know when he
Okay,
sees this.
all right.
You don't know? He'll know
No.
when he sees. I don't
Purple
know.
toes?
Just purple toes just popped into my head.
Well,
Anyway, sorry.
it's beer and wings, not purple toes. So we go and we have beer and wings. That's what we do
Nice.
every single year. That's what we do.
Wait, at this event or after?
No. Right after the event.
After a long
Right
day of
after
working the
It's
event.
a
and
long
stuff.
day of the event, and we just want to wind down. Beer and wings.
What do you do at that event?
At the event, well, like I said, I volunteer once a year. It's a truck show, you know, big semis.
Yeah.
It's an event hosted by our guest today, and we're gonna introduce right now, Laura Machuca.
Correct.
She hosts this event once a year. We go, we help her out, we assist her with. I like to think that I'm her right hand man, and then Rudy's her left hand man. But you know, we'll let her elaborate
If
more on
Rudy's
that.
listening, then okay. Both of you guys are my right hand man.
Rudy started first. He started in 2006. I've been doing this since 2007, helping her out every year. And we just go. We have a good time. It's just a matter of like making sure everything's running smooth, you know, so she doesn't have to do too much work. But trust me, she does way more than enough work out there. But anyways, with that said, our guest today is Laura Machuco.
Hello.
She is the owner
Welcome.
of El Troquero newspaper, right here, as you see. Truck Club magazine. Various other here newspaper magazine that's called Solo. What is it? Mayoreo. Mayoreo.
And this one too.
And this one here, Truckers Wanted, Job
The
Guide.
reason for the truck show.
That's exactly the reason for. Which
Wow.
can you elaborate just a little bit since we're on the topic of the truck show?
The truckers. Well, my first idea was to do a job fair.
Mm-hmm.
The truck drivers don't like job fairs, so I found a way to trick them into coming to a truck show and / a job fair and calling it the Truckers Wanted Job Fair and Truck Show.
Yeah.
So there's everything there. There's trucking companies looking for owner operators or drivers. There's tire companies, accessories, insurance. And then you have the beautiful trucks, you know, of all the guys that come in,
Shine and show.
show and shine.
Oh, show and shine.
Show and shine. That's the proper way, my dear.
I was doing it in
Show and
Spanish. You know,
shine.
the translation is different in Spanish, right?
Is it?
So
Yeah.
you do it
They did it in
opposite.
Spanish.
Good cover. Good cover.
So show and shine, you know, and a lot of people are shocked because these guys really fix up their trucks. And so sometimes when they show up at a regular little car show and these guys come rolling in, everybody's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks that they put this kind of money into the trucks. I mean, it's, you know,
A lot of chrome,
it's a lot of chrome and it's a lot of work. And I mean, and for these guys to actually work their trucks and be on the road, you know, and to have their trucks that clean, that
Are
takes
all those
pride.
trucks?
They're all working.
They're all
trucks.
operable.
They're all working
Operating
trucks.
trucks. Wow.
The one that you just showed the front cover, the orange truck right here,
This one here.
that's Richie's truck. He actually hauls from the harbor containers
Really?
every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually took that picture. Kind of did like a little bit of
look.
MacGyver and illegal stuff where we were at somewhere in San Pedro out there, but
whatever works, right?
Whatever works to get the shot, we did it. And those guys in El Troquero newspaper, actually that is done in the morning. We have that Trucking for Kids show. I don't know. I think
I've
you've
been to that show.
it.
Yeah.
Trucking for Kids. That's always in October at the Irwindale Speedway. And so since the guys are all polished up and ready to go, we do the photo shoot in the morning. I just hire the models. Holly's one of them. That was one last year. That we did that shot actually in October.
Oh, okay.
But we try to cover at least 8 to 9 months because it's kind of
it's a lot of work, right?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't have lights like this, for a truck. Where are you gonna put a
natural
truck?
Light.
Natural light has to be natural light. So yeah, but proud of these guys that they take care of their trucks.
That's good.
So a lot of people don't have so much respect for them.
Yeah.
Like you peasants who don't know how to be around.
I don't know nothing.
Drivers.
I don't know nothing about trucks. The last truck I was around.
It's just that, the people who are not in the trucking industry, they don't, when they cut off a truck driver, or they don't let them into the freeway, or it's just, it's like I want people to know. It's like if it wasn't for them, you don't have your clothes, you don't have your food, you don't have your water, you don't have the beer.
Yeah.
Beer nothing gets to the stores by magic.
No.
Everything is brought in by a truck.
Yeah.
Everything that you build your house with, it's just anything. It's brought in by a truck.
Yep.
So the respect for them has to be shown a little more,
Yeah.
They can't stop on a dime. Like neither can a car.
Right.
But can you imagine, hauling 80,000 pounds on you?
Heck no.
There's no way you can stop on a dime for them.
I have a buddy who he's a truck driver for In-N-Out. And he was telling me something about like
In-N-Out has some nice trucks too.
Yeah, they do. His truck's bad.
Those are nice.
Something about like a 15-second rule. Like if he puts his blinker on, he's moving in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's changing lanes.
He has every right to.
Yeah, definitely.
But like at nighttime too, if they're turning in, there's no way they can see. If they have a 53-foot trailer on them, do them a favor. Flash your lights at them.
Yeah.
Give them the right of way.
Give them the right of way and let them in. I mean, they will do much more damage if they plow into you and they jackknife than. I mean, if it was up to me, I would just slam right into them. No offense, but our natural instinct, even with cars, is to slam on your brake.
Yeah.
Even if for a dog or a cat or whatever, and we swerve, and we'll end up doing more damage instead of just taking whatever is in front of us. But I think they need much more. I think since I've been in the industry for so long, I mean, not just with the magazine, I was actually a safety manager for a few years. I actually sold trucks.
Oh, really?
For a while, too. But you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I sold trucks.
I didn't even know you worked at a safety company.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's cool.
That was hard work. Dispatching and safety and everything. But so you get to learn all the aspects of the trucking industry. But, and I mean, I've met so many great guys, and truck drivers, and, respect for them. And as much as I have their back, I know they have my back too. They're just very. You've been there. You've seen.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the love they have, that they show for you. It's something like you've never seen before. Someone that's just like another proprietor here. Like they just show so much love for you. And you could see it. Like it's not just Laura, the owner. It's Laura. Laura's here.
For some reason, I'm known from like El Troquero because I bring the girls in bikinis.
Yeah. She's the handler.
I'm the madam. No, I'm kidding. But a lot of people don't know that I'm all three magazines at the same time. So they just focus on the one with the chick on it.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Which my models are awesome girls too. And so usually I pick a few girls that will work my truck show every year. And a lot of, you get one or two that think that they might.
It happens,
do something other than model, and they don't. I mean, all these girls are. I have one just became a nurse, Cecilia. The other girls work for insurance companies, and two, they're very, very smart girls.
Yeah.
All of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, respect for them too.
Some of them are like the runts of the litter that I've caught a few times in a porter potty doing some. illegal things.
Come on now.
Well, we didn't say any names, but it happens. It happens, right?
Yeah, it does. You truck show is a tough thing to do.
It is. It's intense. It's intense. But
it's a tough day. But we're having ours this year, August 12th again. It's gonna be our 13th annual.
August 12th. That's right.
That's cool.
But you've been there 11 years now.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. You told me you didn't show up last
2007.
year. Where was I at?
Exactly. You know what? That's the thing.
You did show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I need to get you a new shirt because that was
this
fading.
is old
It's
school,
11
dude. Look at this thing. Oh,
11 years.
This is how long I've had this shirt.
Is that
nobody even wears the
is that sun-kissed cherry?
Yeah, it used to be red.
Yeah, it used to be bright red.
Bright red.
But yeah, dude, look, this is old school, man.
I'm
Rudy and I are the only ones that wear this. And then I have this is a memory from, remember when we had those Monster company that came out? Remember that?
Like 5 years ago.
Remember that Monster girl that was there?
Yeah, she was whacked out.
Yeah.
Too.
That was the Monster.
She either had way too much Monsters or way too much of something else.
I think so too. I remember you guys told me that. I'm all over the place. And at the end, we get to
that Hydro Monster.
The captions of what happened here in that corner and what happened here in this corner. You know, I never know until after.
That's one of the things I was trying to get at right now, where she's there, but she's not there. So she's at the show, but she's not at the show. She just checks out, but it's because she's worried about all this that's going on, and because it's just, it has to work. It has to be perfect for her. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, oh, just let it go. No. We got to do it.
Yeah,
back then it was just,
the baby.
These people didn't set up. Rudy Vidal, go.
Yeah.
And if somebody's talking to me, I'm listening to you, but I'm also hearing the voices in my earpiece.
Yeah, we all got the earpiece.
Laura, we got this person here and this, we got this, and it's kind of tough.
Somebody's trying to walk in with a dog.
So exactly. Somebody's trying to walk in with beer in here. Somebody's trying to do this. I'm like, oh. Good.
Well, the beer, it's always like, bring them this way.
Yeah, kidding.
No,
there's no drinking allowed because truck drivers are not supposed to drive, especially with the Class A license.
Correct.
I don't want to be responsible for them losing their license, getting out of my show.
That's something
that's their livelihood.
Yeah.
Even if they drive a car, that's their livelihood, so.
My dad was a truck driver for years. We're talking 25, 30, 35 plus maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a truck driver for years. He just retired about 4 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he drove his whole life. He's been driving, not his whole life, but 35 years, half of his life. And he taught us the safety of the drivers, right? When you give them the right of way, you always try to give them the right of way. Blink your light, your headlights, they pass. Most of the time, they'll blink their hazards back to you, kind of like, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Move on away. But for the most part, it's common sense.
But a lot of people don't have common sense anymore.
That's true.
I think everybody's losing their common sense. They're losing on how to be polite. They're losing on how to say, I'm sorry when you make a mistake. Instead, they want to argue with you about it. It's like, just apologize.
Yeah.
Even if you kind of didn't do it, just say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry if you thought I did that for you.
Yeah.
You.
Let's move on.
And let's move on. But,
crazy.
A lot of people don't know how to apologize or just be kind or,
Do you think it's too much pride or they're just stubborn?
It's a lot of both.
I think it's both. I believe it or not, I'm studying and I'm studying the teachings of Buddhism.
That's right. You did mention that.
Yeah. So, and people are like, oh, I thought you're, Catholic, and it's not a religion.
Yeah.
It's just a way of being human revelation and being kind to other people and being nice and being positive. And, karma doesn't have to always be bad karma. It's good karma.
Yeah.
It's what you bring.
Which you put out into the world.
What you put out into the world. And if you're kind to somebody else, and maybe the other person will be kind to you too.
Right.
So I'm going to read up more on it because I've been so busy with the truck show.
Right.
And with my other wholesale magazine too, but I'm going to read more about it. And yeah, every Thursday meeting, they want me to, when are you ready to get your Gohan-san? It's, the shrine, the box with the shrine. And basically it's a scroll in the middle and it says Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And that's what you chant, multiple times.
Say that again.
Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.
What does that mean?
Devotion. And Kyo is a teaching of, I think I'm still trying to learn here. Nam-myoho Renge is the lotus flower, which a lotus flower is, it's seeds and it has fruits at the same time. So it's a cause and effect. That's what it means. Whatever you cause has an effect. Mm-hmm. And that's the teachings of it. So when you keep chanting that, over and over again, you know, and you think positive thoughts. That's basically it, you know. So learning. My sister already got her gohonson, which was kind of funny because I had my little 3-year-old Ale. Yeah,
she got her what?
Her gohonson, which is the
scroll
the scroll, the shrine.
She said
So you gohonson, gohonson. And actually, I was telling my sister that we were sitting, my nephew and I, at Ross the other day, and he sat at the table. And I told them, I said, you know, Nina's got to get a table too for her gohonson. And he says, yeah. I mean, he can barely speak that well still.
Yeah.
So your mommy got one too? And I said, yeah. And he says, well, I said, what does mommy do at the gohonson? He says, nah, mi ojo killed. And he's only 3 years old. He made me laugh, but you know, I think he's so cute. That's
you know,
my only.
I don't know much about like Buddhism, but what I don't do is what I don't hear is I don't hear any negative stuff about it.
No.
So whereas Christians, Catholics, Mormons, you know, Jehovah's Witness, it's always just like this battle of who's right and who's wrong, you know, right? It's not, but when it's a religion, there is no right and wrong. It's what you believe, right? Like, I didn't want to get too much into the faith thing, remember, in the podcast, but that's just a quick little statement. But Buddhism, I've never heard, no one's ever said any negative stuff about Buddhism. About it.
And actually, when I walked in there, you had so many different types of nationalities there, you know, and as soon as you walk in, everybody's like, greets you with a hello, with a smile, and I'm so happy you're here, and you know, really nice people. And so you get what it's all about. And so every Thursday we go to the SGI location out in Almani, and we every Thursday they have a speaker. It's basically Buddhism 101.
Okay.
So you kind of hear over and over again what the gohonson is, what the, you know, Buddhism is, and but every single person has their way of telling it, you know. But it's just learning over and over again, because, you know, it has a lot
repetition.
It's repetition, basically. So, but it's a good, you know, thing. I mean, it's gotten me a little more calm. That was road rage bad.
It's kind of like a meditation.
It's kind of like a meditation, yeah, because I'm always on the road driving everywhere, and sometimes I'm just like, I just seriously want to throw something at somebody. And but actually, after I started chanting, it's just like I'm more calm, because I'm not going to change the person in front of me. So and I'm just making myself angry, and he's still going to run the red light whether or not.
Right. Yeah. You can't control that vehicle or the person inside that vehicle. There's no reason why you should get upset or frustrated about it. Ruin your day.
Right. You know? Ruin my day. Exactly.
Do you ever hear things, or like just jump in? Because I'm kind of getting the chills. You jump in conversations and you're like, oh man, that's a sign. Like, do you believe in signs?
Yeah.
Or
I do.
Stuff like that. So like everything you were saying right now, I was just taking it in, and I'm like, man, I'm feeling convicted.
Okay.
You know, which it was really weird but it's just all this stuff that we were talking about, and you said something about saying sorry, and I just want to say I'm sorry. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, but
I think it's just it's so difficult for people. Like my sister, she's very calm. We're complete opposites, and she's very, you know, Alice. She's just very nice, and I don't know. She's like a
Would you
hippie.
say happy-go-lucky?
She's a hippie, basically. You know,
she's
just
chill.
like she's very chill.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember a long time ago she took classes, like seminar classes, and I think that have you ever watched the Panda Expresses and everybody's really nice to you there?
Mm-hmm.
I think they go to these classes. If you pay attention to them, I can't think of these seminars, and they're expensive, but they teach you on how to keep your word. You know, and be a person of your word.
Right.
My sister's one of those that if a sales rep calls you and says, you know, well, let me call you, I'm going to call you on Thursday. My sister will write it down and say, if they don't call me on Thursday, no deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so she started, by her going to those seminars, every time she would ask me, did you do this? Well, I didn't do it because I didn't ask you for an excuse. I asked you if you did it or you didn't.
Yeah.
And I said, no. Okay, then when will you do it? Okay, I will do it on this day. Because if you realize, if you ask somebody, did you do, automatically they'll give you an excuse.
They're going to give you an excuse
as to why they didn't do it. And say, no. Just say, when you're going to do it, I know I didn't do it. I apologize. I will get it done on this day.
Yeah.
Because people have to be more, I don't know.
That's where the whole pride
more
thing comes in.
civilized, you know?
Well, you got to take responsibility for yourself.
Responsibility,
Yeah.
you know? And it's just, you seem that people are not being responsible for what their actions or anything. I mean, if I get caught speeding, I'm not going to sit there and argue with a cop. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm going to be like, I got caught. That's it. Write it out. Done.
Yeah.
You know? So it is what it is.
Yeah, I definitely act oblivious to the cop when he comes in. What'd you stop me for? I don't know.
Officer.
Well,
you can't hike up your skirt and try to get out of it. Unless
like
you're...
Just unbutton one more.
I got the chichis for it. That's another podcast. But no, yeah. I mean, you got to own up. You got to own up to it. You got to own up to it.
I mean, I think people. I mean, great that you're doing this whole podcast thing because people are, you know, but they're always on their phones. And unfortunately, I hate to be on my phone so much, but it's because of work. But if I
yeah, you have to. Sometimes you have to. You can't get around it. But the few times or hours of the day that you have, you're able to put it away. At least that Thursday, you're able to put your phone away, right?
Yes, okay. I you know, if it rings, it rings.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It can wait till later. But you know, you see a lot of mothers and, you know, kids on the playground, and their kids are just running around. They're just sitting there on their cell phone. I'm like, can you look up and look at, I don't have kids, but look up and look at your child and see where he's at any moment.
In 10 seconds or less than 10 seconds, he's gone. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Or the teachings of teaching kids to have manners nowadays. I've realized that kids don't have, and I don't have kids because if I had kids, I mean, I'd probably lock them in a closet or something. If
Put them in a bubble.
Up. Yeah. But I remember my sister telling me that she was sitting she went into a playground, and my little nephew, he's only 3, and he walked in and he said hello to these kids. Kids looked at him and just shined him off. And the mother turned around and looked at my sister and says, "Oh, my kids are bad. They don't say hello."
she's okay with it.
And she's okay with it. I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Are you kidding me right now?" I said, I'd be embarrassed if you as a parent are not teaching your child to say hello to somebody, you know, especially a 3-year-old or whatever, another kid. But how embarrassing. And then she continued on with her cell phone. Yeah. As she's turned around and said that.
And that's the excuse that you're talking about. So right away, she put an excuse for her child.
Children, yeah.
So she's teaching him or her.
Yeah, not to.
It's okay for excuses, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of sad. But,
it is sad.
You know?
It is sad.
I don't know.
You know, I have to beat it like, what is it? What is that saying? Beat it like a dead horse?
Yeah.
I said it right. I got to beat it like a dead horse with Vincent. You know, I got to tell him, you got to make eye contact. You got. You don't have to shake their hand. You don't have to hug them, but you got to make eye contact.
I always never wanted to do that. I was always embarrassed to do this. I mean, which I'm embarrassed right now because I hate to be on camera. But then again, I talk in front of 1,000 and some people in front of my truck show on a microphone.
Grab that microphone and just, you know. But
that's
adrenaline.
Go figure. It's the beer. I'm kidding.
Your tea.
The tea.
Your green tea.
But my mom used to always say, you need to look at people in the eyes. So guess what? I'm not looking at your eyes. I'm looking in the middle of your.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And you can't tell that I'm looking.
That's good. That's like the whole. That's like the whole. I love you, and then you say olive juice. You just mouth olive juice. I love you too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, olive juice.
But yeah, that's what my mother taught me. It's like you cannot just not talk to people and not look at them because I was like that.
Now I'm like. She's looking. She's looking at my unibrow.
You have not plucked in a while.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, it's a good tip though. I mean, but yeah, like that's very important, that eye contact, and
eye
it is.
contact,
You have to, because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, you can't take 1 second. It's 1 second just to make quick eye contact and get back to what you're doing, because you might be working on something important, but someone did ask you a question.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, my employees already know that I am listening to them, and I'm still working on the computer on graphics, but I'm paying attention to them.
Yeah.
They already know that. But you know, that's only at the office.
Right.
I'm like, because I'm doing 20
That's
million
work,
things at the same time. So,
I think that's very important too for like us. We have young boys. You know, we gotta still teach them that chivalry is not dead.
Oh right.
And it shouldn't be. You know.
Yeah.
I'm constantly having to like hit my son in the chest. Not hard, just a lady's walking through first, and I open the door for her, not you. And this is how we do it. You know, that for me, that was taught by my grandpa.
Yeah.
You know, if you're walking down a sidewalk with a girl, you're always on the outside.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know, being polite, like you mentioned earlier, being polite, respectful.
Yeah, my mom and my dad, they taught me the same thing. Those same things you're talking about. Walking on the sidewalk, you know, respecting.
See, I never knew that.
What's that?
Walking on the.
Really?
Yeah.
'cause people
Well,
are-
cause you know how my mom explained it to me. And I don't know how they explain it to you, but the way my mom explained it to me, she's from Tijuana, right? So
Yeah.
the way she explained it to me, she's like, she didn't
Car's
say
gonna
it.
hit you
She didn't.
first
No,
before
yeah,
me.
you wish
I'm kidding.
that's where you think I'm going.
You'll soften the
talk-
blow if the car hits her.
That's that safety mentality.
The safety
No, her way, what she said, it was like, you're not pimping her out.
That's good.
You're not pimping her out.
It's a good
I never
one.
thought about that.
That's the way that they saw it. She said it differently, right? She didn't, but
Yeah,
you know,
no, yeah.
that's
There
my
you go.
translation, the Spanish to English translation. You're not pimping her
Wow, I
out.
never thought about
Yeah.
that.
So that's what I'm like, when I'm walking with
She's
my
not walking
when
the
when
street,
back
yeah.
then when it was my girlfriend, not wife.
Now I'm gonna look at couples, and if the girl's on the outside, I'm gonna be like,
That's when you
They
just
gotta
pull
pay
over,
some
Just
bills.
yell.
pull over
How
to the
much?
side. Hey, cuánto?
That's
you
all.
gotta pay some bills because trying to get that money.
That's funny.
But yeah, dude. I
Wow,
mean,
just totally took my meaning and wow.
a little different, right?
Yeah,
little
a
different.
lot.
That's
Yeah.
true though. I never.
That's
realized
funny.
that one. But yeah.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mom. She's gonna
good.
get mad if she hears it. If she said it.
But it's true though. Like,
Yeah, it's
teaching
true.
the boys respect.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
Let's talk about the Solo Mayero, if you don't mind, right now.
Solomayoreo.com.
What is it?
Solomayoreo.com.
This
What
is
is
new to me.
Translation. It's been out for 18 years.
Really?
Yeah. Translation is only wholesale. So
Only wholesale.
the people that advertise here are people who sell different types of merchandise at wholesale price. So you basically
Okay.
have to have a resale number to buy wholesale because
Mm.
the wholesale people don't charge you taxes. So when you resell it, you need to charge taxes because you can't get away from Uncle Sam.
Right.
So somebody's got to pay the taxes. On
Correct.
it. So yeah, we've been in the industry for 18 years. Before we actually started Solo Mayoreo, we had a car one. You didn't know that.
No.
It was called Plaza de Autos. I mean, obviously we're the Latino, magazines here. We had Plaza de Autos, but we had a lot of competition with the cars. And then I remember one of our neighbors used to sell cowboy boots like ostrich from Mexico, and he used to sell them at wholesale.
Yeah.
And he had told my father, he says, there's only 2 wholesale magazines in English. So we closed the Plaza de Autos and we started solomayoreo.com, which it taught us a lot because we had to take pictures and photos. We had to use all these, flashes and get cameras.
So
and
these
everything.
aren't photos that are. I mean, now they're probably digitally downloaded.
We take
or
some
you guys
of them.
still take some
Yeah,
of these?
we have like the mannequins and the
Wow.
shadow boxes and all that stuff that we have to take some items to. Some of the customers, they ask us to do that. But yeah, it's been out for 18 years and it's free to the retailers. I mean, I don't want to say it's only for the retailers because you never know. You might want to get into the business of selling, stuff like this. And
Right.
so it's basically for the general public, So we do 2 shows every year in Las Vegas at the ASD trade show. And it's at the convention center. I think this year is going to be July 28th through August 1st or 2nd.
Okay.
Starts on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And there there is actually like 2 floors of so many different types of merchandise. You have your general merchandise, your 99 cents people, the guys who supply your 99-cent stores and your Dollar Trees and all
Wow.
that, from gifts to even your smoke pipes and purses, sunglasses, anything
It's
you
huge,
can name
then.
it. It's huge.
Wow.
Wow.
It's huge. That's why it's a 4-day show and it's twice a year. So we've had a booth there for the past, I want to say 18 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
Vegas is, it's not fun sitting in a booth for like 9 hours, but
But then the nightlife is cool in Vegas,
I don't
right?
know about any nightlife in Vegas.
Yeah.
What happens in Vegas?
It stays in
It
Vegas.
stays there.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Except?
Except.
No.
Oh, you had me right there.
But yeah, so we've been so lately we've been actually we're gonna have a spot on June 23rd at the Pasadena Civic Center. It's called Posible LA. I have a friend of mine who his name is Carlos Marquez and he's very big on Facebook Live and Univision Channel 34.
Okay.
With his friend Julie Staff. She's the finance lady from Univision. They're good friends also, but they are actually going to they're going to be speakers at this Posible LA, and it's for entrepreneurs. I mean, they're they're looking at probably 3,000 plus people there. So we'll have a booth there and passing
Nice.
out the magazines there too.
It's good. Where do
Yeah.
you normally display this newspaper? Is it something that you guys mail out, or is it?
Lately, Carlos did a Facebook Live from the March show in Vegas, and we got about 95 plus subscriptions that we mail out.
Oh, okay.
But we hand deliver them to all the swap meet vendors, and from here to California, Chicago, Arizona,
Wow.
Mexico City, Guadalajara. We send them out there. They hand deliver them to every single retail store, and like swap meets vendors and stuff like that. We also have like about 5 or 6 locations which are advertised in the magazine. We have racks in parking lots in downtown LA. So there's a big blue rack, and you'll find Sotomayor there.
Wow.
Yeah, these are all free. The truck magazines are free in all your truck stops. We're online. Our website has been we've been like revamping it, so you can find trucks for sale.
Okay.
And
Used,
all
new,
our exhibitors, huh?
new and used.
New and used, yeah. We have a few companies that are. I want to say our new ones are from Utah and Arizona, I think it is. And then the Truckers Wanted basically is just a job guide. So that's basically all trucking companies that are looking to hire owner operators and drivers. But my boys are very scared to switch companies all the time. I don't know why. It's very hard. I mean, somebody had sent me an article just recently that there's a really big shortage on truck drivers.
Really?
Unfortunately, I mean, my trucking companies are my customers, so I gotta stay biased. But it's either
What do you think that's
pay-
credited to? The shortage of drivers.
One, first it all happened back in, what was it, 2010, when they started the clean air program, and all these trucks, old trucks, they got removed, and these guys had to get new trucks. I think that was a big problem with a lot of the truck drivers, because fortunately credit wasn't good. They couldn't afford a new truck. The trucking companies, in order to keep alive, said, we'll get the truck, but we'll lease it to you. And now I hear a bunch of lawsuits going on and stuff like that. But some of these truck drivers, I mean, like you say, they didn't have the credit, and they just, you need a truck, you need to work
Right.
somehow.
That's the only way
So
that you can work.
I don't know the logistics on that, how that whole leasing problem, but it's just, it's sad that it has come to that. And then just recently it has all started with every single truck driver has to have a electronic log device onto their trucks. So these guys can't drive more than 11 hours, before they used to.
No more able to fix your books anymore, huh?
I never said that.
Oh, right.
All my
Again-
truck drivers are good drivers. They drive good.
But that was a truck driver for 35 years, so.
Yeah, we don't know about,
Some
doing
secrets.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
But yeah,
it's
so that's a
unfortunate,
new that's a new thing, and the change of it. Before they used to make really, really good money, and now their waiting time is much longer, and they don't get paid for it. Some of them don't. And it's sad. But these guys are away from their families, and then they have to deal with dumb drivers.
Yeah.
Sorry, but respect them.
Why don't we get a little bit into the safety thing right now that you just brought that up? You were involved with safety
Yeah, I was a
company.
safety.
And
I
you,
think
did you
I
teach it?
No, I actually started in a company, and I was actually, I used to take care of the driver's maintenance. So I had to make sure that they used to maintain their trucks, do the inspections and stuff like that. From
Okay.
there, I went into another trucking company, and then I was in charge of everything. So hours of service, maintenance, their fuel, deductions and stuff like that. I did some dispatching, and went to the scenes of the accidents. Was in court for them for overweight, containers. I think that one of them almost wanted to throw me in jail. One of the judges, I was like, "Whoa, I'm just a representative of the trucking company. Don't get crazy." But yeah, I used to deal with all that, and it was, waking up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and truck turned over on the freeway, and figuring out how to get a tow truck there and
Yeah.
get it out of there. Yeah, I didn't sleep much.
I bet.
It's crazy.
Now the safety that you just mentioned right now is safety for the truckers and their trucks and how they maintain their trucks. But now about traffic safety, because there's a lot of people out here like us that didn't, or
Don't
like
know
you,
how to drive
because my
around.
dad was a 35-year vet driver,
Yeah.
and I know what's up. But that don't know safety, or maybe like we said, it's common sense,
People don't have common.
but we don't have common sense. So let's just throw it out there for them. I mean, what are some of the things that you can let people know right now?
Well, what I've noticed, it actually happened today. When you get to the stop sign and you want to make a left, and the truck is coming from this end, and he wants to come into the lane. I mean, it's right next to you.
Yeah.
He's not going to make it. If he's got a container on him, he's not going to be able to. So guess what? If there's no cars behind you, back up.
Back up.
Let him go through, because he's waiting. He's trying. I mean, no cars are gonna let him go by. He's got to get that one shot when no car comes by, to turn into wherever you're at, back up, and let them through.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that today, and he actually smiled and he said thank you, and just do that for them. When you're entering the freeway, don't try to.
Beat them.
They're
Yeah.
going faster than you actually think they're going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People think that because they're that big that they're not going that fast, but they're going pretty fast.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
common
Know that
problem
way.
there is you're getting on the on ramp and you don't want to get stuck behind them, right? So
Yeah,
you're
but-
like, let me speed up.
I know.
Exactly.
I
But
think that's what most people do.
I've seen an accident where, there's my little truck right here.
There we go.
Actually, the car has come so close to the tire that he has spun the car. I remember the driver telling me, he says, I saw him spin out in front of my bumper and then hit this side of the wheel, and then I shot him, spit him out straight to the center divider.
Wow.
And because that's the at the speed they're going, that's
Well, the momentum, it's
That's
just-
the momentum
yeah.
right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
that it'll just take them. And I mean, when you see the little swirls on the tires on the side of the car, that's because the big rig, got the wheel. The wheel got that. But it's just common sense. Don't try to beat them and give them the right of way, especially at night. Flash your lights at them and let them. I mean, if you can barely see, you have to turn around and see. If there's a car next to you and you barely can see them, can you imagine a guy with a 53-foot container or trailer at night?
Yeah.
He doesn't know. And you're sitting there, I'm letting you go by. Well, yeah, he doesn't hear you and he doesn't see your
Yeah.
hand gestures. Flash your lights at him.
Yeah.
And let him know you're going to let him through.
He might be coming up on that 11th hour. Of
Yeah.
straight driving.
Right?
Is it 11 hours or how many?
It's 11 driving hours.
11 driving hours.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
But mind
crazy.
you, if he's sitting at a warehouse for 5 hours, that's considered him driving. That's considered him on duty.
Oh, is it?
So he only has, a few more hours to get to his destination.
So that just cut out on his time, his driving time to get to the next.
I
stop.
never knew how the whole trucking industry works. Are they privately contracted
They
to
are.
pick up these containers?
You have your owner operators. When you say an owner operator, that means he owns his own truck, and he drives. He can drive for another trucking company. Sometimes you'll see the placards on the side and it says sub hauler, meaning he owns his own truck and he's sub hauling for another company. Then you have your drivers. The trucking company actually, like you have your FedEx drivers. They're all company drivers. Your In-N-Out drivers. They're all company drivers. Some of those Schneider trucks, Swift, and all that, they have their own. And other big companies too. And some of them are advertisers of mine. They have their own trucks and they hire drivers. Now those drivers are employees, so those drivers get paid an hourly rate. They get insurance, they get anything that an employee can get. An owner operator, he is a 1099. He will have to save all his receipts for gas, save all his receipts for maintenance on the trucks, everything that they spend on it, which they're very bad at doing. And they have to realize, a lot of them, I mean, that I've known and I've met and talked to them, they don't even know that concept. I'm like, wait, you're your own employee.
Yeah.
I said, you have to claim all this stuff. I said, you don't work for that company. You're not an employee of theirs. I mean, it's your truck.
Yeah.
It's your fuel. It's your tires. It's your, if your truck breaks down,
They don't pay for it.
they don't pay for it. The company doesn't, unless they're an employee. But that's why there's the difference between an employee and an owner operator. An owner operator doesn't pay workers compensation because he's his own boss.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're working as a driver, the company has to pay workers comp, and the workers comp is the highest here in California. I want to say it's like 33%. So that's why a driver will not make as much money as an owner operator. Well, they might make the equal amount because an owner operator has to still pay, for tires, and I mean, they don't have 4, they have 10.
Yeah.
And at $200 and something a pop, it's not cheap.
That adds up.
It adds up, and they do pay a lot of money. These guys who fix up their trucks beautifully, I mean, that's their toy, and that's their deal on how much they want to spend on their trucks because they're proud of their trucks and they're proud of the way, and they like looking good when they drive. I mean, me, you think I'm like one of those dudes like, oh my God, look at that truck,
Yeah.
That's just me.
Right.
And so.
Well, that's your industry.
That's my industry, and you take pride. I mean, I like it that, I can tell what's custom and what's not.
You can respect their appreciation of their toy.
Because they work it,
right.
And they're hard workers. And I mean, I'm proud to say I have a lot of them are really, really good friends of mine, and I love them dearly,
Yeah.
And
so are you constantly checking out trucks?
All the time. It's sad. My mom's like, God, she's like, every time we're on the freeway, and there goes this person, and there goes that person, and there goes that person, and they honk. She's like, I know every single truck. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. I've been in the industry for 18 years already.
18 years.
18 with the magazine. And before that, of course.
How did you land into this industry, if you don't mind me asking?
My father started working for a trucking company. And back then, when he hired me on as a maintenance, the maintenance and the safety, Daddy hired his daughter. I mean, I've done my dirty work, Carl's Jr. and Anna's linens and cleaners and all that stuff, and teacher's aid, and I've done the dirty work, So I started. He started working there. My father noticed that the majority of back in 97 or 96, the majority of your harbor haulers, they're all Latino based.
Right.
A majority were Central Americans. And there was only one magazine in English for them. So my dad said, let's do a magazine in Spanish, which my mother says, you're crazy because we have no clue how to start a magazine.
Yeah.
And what are we supposed to do? So back then it was take a picture with the camera, go take the film to get developed, scan the picture of the truck that was going to be for sale, and we only had one graphic designer. And that was the old age. My mother still says, I had the hardest work. I said, lady, you only did it for 2 years. You can't milk it anymore. I've been doing this for 18 years now. Yeah. She's like, well, because I had to, develop the picture. I'm like, no. I said, your ride is over. I've been doing this for 18 years.
Yeah.
So that's where Truck Club started. And then we started the newspaper. But the newspaper was black and white. El Troquero was, I think it was a one-spot color, red and blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling my dad, I said, I can't compete with Truck Club because it's full color and nobody's going to want to buy a truck black and white. And brainstormed, I'm like, we should put a girls on the front cover, And from there, I got a friend of mine who had, who was a hairstylist, and she said, oh, I have a model that I do her hair. She told the model about, this, and the model says, any friend of yours, a friend of mine. She ended up being my first model. Her name was Carmen Palumbo.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to be back then one of the DJ girls from the radio station, Que Buena. And so everybody knew her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she did me the favor. She did the photo shoot. And from there on, she introduced me to her friend, my friend Tuesday, and she had a modeling agency. And we started getting me the models. So from there, we started getting the trucks and started doing it little by little. I mean, I got criticized by a lot of
the
women.
Wives?
Oh, yeah, that's beside the point. But women.
In your industry? Or just in...
Women in the industry who had companies, Some of them said, this is great. But some women, the younger girls, fifi looking ones, and they're like, I don't know why you're putting girls like this. And then I said, look, I said, if I'm going to be jealous of these girls because they're beautiful and skinny, I said, I'm not looking at a business point of view. I said, I'm here to make money.
Right.
And I go, and unfortunately, sex sells. And it is what it is. I mean, they gave me the snooty face. I'm like, then you're losing out on money. But then I had a woman who had an insurance agency with her daughter, and she called me up and she says, Mija, you hit this one on the nail. She says, I want an advertisement there.
Nice.
And she was there for almost 15 years.
There you go.
And you know what I mean? It's just some people are smart. That's a businesswoman right there.
Yeah.
And then the fifi girls are not
business
they're just
moves.
dumb. They're not business people.
Yeah, exactly.
Business moves. I
That's
gotta
when you-
eat.
Yeah.
And from
Family's gotta
there,
eat.
it went to full color. It went to 2 sections. I mean, some of the boys are embarrassed to pick it up. They just roll it up in the back of their pockets and take it in. I've seen them. I notice it. But, but it's for the advertisement. It's for my customers to get the business.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, And then we started the Truckers Wanted Job Guide, and then there came the show. And every year I say, I'm not going to do this shit anymore. And I still do it again.
I remember one year you convinced me. I was like, dude, Rudy, she's not going to do it anymore. She's not.
I think I had
she's
it.
not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, we didn't get word until that was last minute. And you're like, oh, I'm doing it. We'll be there.
It's just
Laura.
that it's a lot of work. And I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm getting old. And me being there from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the day of the show, I'm dying. Actually, I don't even feel my back by the end of the,
Yeah.
So, but I have you guys to help me out, though.
That's good.
I thank
There
you
you
very
go.
much
There
for
you go.
your service,
course,
sir. You
anytime.
and Rudy.
Yeah. You know how Rudy and I started? We used to be in charge of the models.
Oh, I know.
We were the photo
Your
booth
wife
guys.
probably didn't like me
What?
that much back then.
We were, and then it got really busy, and we told her we need help. She's like,
Yeah.
give me some other guys.
Yeah.
So we went and we got a crew of guys that came out, and do you remember the name?
Miguel,
No. Do you remember the name of my group?
you guys
My
were
team.
the
You had a team name?
Yeah,
Team
because
Viewfinder.
Viewfinder. We're the
Team
photographers,
Viewfinder.
right?
They were the
Team
photographers.
Viewfinder.
Yeah,
That's how you met her?
Yeah,
She
through
met
the
me
truck show.
Through the truck
Oh,
show.
okay.
No, she was modeling. I was taking pictures of her one time. And then
Hell. It's a 10-wheeler, not an 11-wheeler, okay? Yeah,
No.
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's how I met Laura. I met Laura through Rudy and
Rudy is the cousin of my best friend, Blanca.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Me
Blanca.
and Blanca
Shout out
have
to
known each
Blanca.
other since- Shout out to Blanca. I was just there with them this weekend. We went to Temecula.
That's right. I saw the
But
pictures.
then,
She was
yeah,
right there.
she was crazy. My best friends always. All my other friends are like, she's so crazy. I'm like, I'm used to it. It's been, since first grade. I already
Yeah.
know how crazy she is.
Nah, she's real,
I'm used
dude.
to it. She's real.
real.
Yeah, love it to death. That's
Yep.
why those are like the kind of friendships that you really cherish because
Yep. No matter what went on or what
yeah,
has gone
we
on.
don't talk for
and
2 months and then we
years
just pick up where we
Yeah.
we left
Real
off.
friends.
That's cool.
Those are real friends. But yeah, that's why you guys got stuck with me every
Yeah.
year. At least you
That's
got to see me 2 times this year.
Yeah. once a year, man.
Yeah,
But
once a
I
year,
feel like,
it's here.
so like I said, we did this because I know her, but I don't know her.
Yeah, I know.
Right? So that's why I'm like,
She only sees me once a year for 5
once
hours.
a year.
and
We're
that's
here
it.
for 5
We're-
hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go hang out, like,
Once in a while.
once in a
When
while,
I'm not
like-
dying after
yeah.
the show.
but
I'm like ready to. I have dirt from my feet to my knees.
yeah, most of the time she's
Yeah.
ready to tap out.
I'm tapping out. Yeah, I'm just done. And then the video guy once says, "Can you do a video?" I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" I'm like, "Do you see what I look like right now? I have dirt in my hair. It's just horrible."
Shout out to Bert.
To Bert,
Shout
yeah.
out to Bert.
also, my video, and he has to deal with all the people. I don't even see him videotaping. I just see him at the end. See him at the beginning. I see him at the end.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody.
He's really good at doing that. That he's there and he's getting all kinds of footage, but you never know he's there.
I know, right?
He's just-
I
he's
don't
there.
see him
Yeah.
actually.
It's a good
But so I'm
videographer.
still selling booths for the truckers. For the truck show, and we realized that we can only fit 45 trucks
Mm-hmm.
at the park. Last year was our limit. We're gonna have Golden State food trucks there, which is the McDonald's trucks. They're gonna be there. They actually sponsored the coloring contest, so we're gonna
cool.
buy some bikes for the kids this year.
Nice.
And so we're gonna have and then I have my guy Jose from JV Art Proof.
Yeah.
He's a awesome designer. He does a lot of artwork for T-shirts and stuff. So he actually did the coloring contest. I said I just need a white outline, and black and white outline, and so the kids can color. And he is going to actually do the artwork for the t-shirts also. It's going to be
cool.
the second year.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to do all this stuff. Get on the ball, people. So when I get back from vacation, everything's done. So yeah, so it's a lot of work though. I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very easy to put up a show, but
Who drew this?
That my cousin Omar Sacramento. He actually was here.
He's from Sacramento?
No.
Oh, that's his last name?
That's his last name.
Oh, Sacramento.
He's from Hermosillo, Sonora.
Okay.
So he's my cousin from my mother's side,
Mm-hmm.
and him and his wife are really good artists. And he drew that for me, and I had it in my office. Figure I share it
Nice.
with you guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very
that's
nice.
hand drawn, right?
It's hand drawn.
None of the
Yeah, no, it's
Nice.
hand drawn.
no
They're-
computerized, nothing.
No computerized. That's all hand drawn. His signature's there at the
Old
bottom.
school.
He was just here last week. Him and his son were down here for his son's in a baseball league, and Montebello
Okay.
City invited them to play.
Nice.
Yeah, baseball. So
Baseball.
I know. So yeah, he's a pretty good drawer.
Right on.
Love my cousin. So I think it almost looks like the front cover of that truck, huh?
This one here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So your whole life consists around trucks?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was the safe. He was a manager or operations manager for a trucking company, and that's when he brought me in. And but before that, he was a union leader for International Ladies Garment Workers Union. My dad actually even was with the whole movement of Cesar Chavez too.
Oh, really?
Because I found old pictures. I'm like,
Yeah.
isn't that Cesar Chavez? And he has pictures with him. And yeah, because I do remember, like, when I was young, he told me that he was going to do the hunger strike after Cesar Chavez. And I remember telling him, you're going to die, Dad. You're
Yeah.
not gonna-" He said, don't worry, there's going to be doctors there. But yeah, my uncle was actually.
Did he do it? The hunger strike?
He didn't.
Okay.
I think my mom said that he just came to the hospital, see me be born, and then he took off to Coachella again. It was during that whole entire time.
Yeah.
My uncle was also actually one of the fathers from the movie, or one of the fathers that was, I think there was 3 priests in that was
movie,
part of them.
Yeah.
And that was part of the
Oh,
movement.
okay.
He was one of the fathers, because my dad's like I want a sweet 16 or sweet 15, and my dad's like, let's just get a church. So he called up Father White, which was one of the priests from there.
Mm-hmm.
Get me a church, I'll do the ceremony. So it was just like quick,
Nice. For your quinceañera?
for my quinces. I didn't even have any chambelanes or nothing. It was just a big old peach dress, and quick 25-minute ceremony, and that was it. But yeah, my mother told me that, and my uncle was actually the one who used to drive the truck to bring everybody, all the farmers, supplies.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Back then. Yeah, I remember I did take my dad to go see the movie when it came out, to
Yeah.
see Chavez, and I kind of touch
Well, I'm
Said
sure.
something,
Imagine,
yeah.
you're being part of that.
especially when they
Yeah.
killed one of those guys there. But this movie wasn't very all true, my dad said.
No.
It's
like
there was.
that Clint Eastwood movie we were talking about
Oh,
with
right.
Lewis Hill. It's just for
Two
Hollywood.
sides.
It's for
Two
Hollywood.
sides.
For Hollywood, yeah, the real story. I mean, who were the bad people
Oh,
who
yeah.
were really involved with the farmers? It's not. We won't touch that because I don't want to get shot or anything. So later on and killed. No, but my father was he was in the movement a lot for the strikes. I think I have pictures of me being on strike too with little things back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was doing all that.
Yeah. Wow.
He's got history. He's like, I have all my newspaper clippings. And yeah, he's got his New York Times and LA Times clippings of him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, Dad, but this is all bad. They wanted to throw you in jail. All the judges wanted to get you in jail because you were causing
But
havoc.
that's the real stuff. That's
the real
stuff
stuff.
that
He was
going
causing
on.
havocs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my dad called me and says, I won't be home tonight. Daddy, are you in jail? No, he's in jail.
No.
Because you probably slashed somebody's tires or something during the strikes or something back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so my dad has history too. But
He's got a story to tell. Sounds like it, huh?
I know,
One of those
right?
special Spanish editions of the podcast.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
then my daughter, then my dad's head would be on a chopping block after. But But yeah, my dad, he's the one who wanted to start this whole thing. And
Yeah, this was his dream, his picture. He pictured this one day, and he said, "This is what I want."
well, my dad's always like wanting to do different things. I remember we had a T-shirt company.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had churros. We made
Nice.
churros.
Yeah.
He had bought this little machine, um, those selling stands, and he wanted to sell churros. But the health department got a little crazy on him. And I said, Dad, I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, do you see the people in LA just like with tanks and like a plate of metal and just frying churros? And I said, ours was so pretty.
Yeah.
I said, it was like made out of metal and glass and lights and everything. I'm like, how the hell did not the health department, but you let them sell in the middle of the street, like that. But because that didn't come about, then he decided to open up a shop in, I want to say it was Huntington Park.
Mm-hmm.
And we had El Moro.
El Moro.
And we did churros, which were filled with cajeta or barbarian cream or strawberries.
Was it a type of bakery, like or just
He
churros?
started bringing in food too, and tortas and this and that. That didn't pan out. And then after, I don't know how many other inventions my dad did, but then this one started, Truck Club, and then pretty much it.
Sounds like your dad was really into being an entrepreneur, not wanting to work for somebody, but working for himself.
For a person who
That's
did
the
not
dream.
even finish 6th grade, came down here to California. My grandmother brought all 10 of them here.
Damn.
And he never finished 5th grade. So that's, my dad's very been wise about that, you know. And he always says, never say no. There's always a will. There's always a way. You just gotta ask. So that used to bug me. Just ask, and I never wanted to ask. And my mother and him, my mother worked in a for clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a manager of all the, what do they say in Spanish, costureras, all the ladies who sew.
Yeah.
So my mom was a manager for a clothing line.
Yeah.
So hard workers. I mean, they always worked.
Yeah.
I can't say my parents never said no to me. I think I remember the one day they said no to me that I couldn't go to a party. I think it broke my heart. But but I turned out good.
There you go. You're running this thing right here. I mean, I was gonna ask you how much of this is your dad a part of right now? Because I see him at the show.
Yeah, he's only there for 2 hours and then he goes plays tennis because he will not miss his Sunday tennis for the life of him. I mean, if its birthday lands on Sunday, you better celebrate it on Saturday because he will not miss his Sunday tennis.
Nice.
Yeah, he'll be there to greet the people for
he
the
says
exhibitors,
hi, hey, what's up?
and then he's all peace,
Yeah,
and he leaves.
but as far as the day and day,
They're pretty much retired.
They're done.
My mom and dad, yeah.
So this is right here, you 100%.
Yeah, my sister. I mean, I usually dealt with the whole trucking, just me.
Mm-hmm.
My sister,
She does.
she did the wholesale, and then when she got pregnant with her first child, it was my turn to take over it. So I never really knew all my customers for the wholesale. I would only go to the trade shows, and now I'm full hands in now.
Yeah.
And dealing with the whole. We're actually gonna have a wholesale show out here in California in San Pedro. We're looking at October 13 and 14.
There you go.
I'm working with Carlos actually, and we will be getting exhibitors of some of my customers, hopefully, and some other people who have wholesale merchandise. And then we're gonna have entrepreneurs who want to go in and try to look at their products and see if it's something you want to sell.
Where can people get that information? Just in case they're watching our podcast.
Solomayoreo.com.
Solomayoreo.com.
Yeah. And that's sooner or later we're gonna have the website. Once we were just drinking at a restaurant 2 weeks ago. He says we should do our own show. I'm like, all right. So we did it.
Nice.
So he called me and he says, what weekend do you have available in October? I said I have first weekend is Trucking for Kids, Irwindale Speedway.
Yeah.
He's all, and I said the third weekend is another show in Ontario, and he says then we'll do it the second week, so you will not have any time to rest. He's all, and don't forget that on the 22nd we leave to China. So apparently they invited me to China to go over there
for the wholesale.
Yeah, he takes a tour of 100 people to China. And I want to say that China is actually having a show there. Their shows, I mean, I can barely hang for 4 days at a trade show in Las Vegas. Apparently theirs is a month and a half. Can you
Ooh,
imagine being in a
damn.
booth for a month and a half?
That's not a show. That's like a season. That's a series.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
a series. That's a mini series.
That's a mini series.
Yeah, that's insane. But I can barely take 9 hours at my show. I'm like falling asleep. I'm already just like commenting on everybody's wardrobe by the time
People watching.
people watch it. I'm like, you shouldn't be wearing that. No, you shouldn't. But it's Vegas, so you can do it.
Not at a trucking convention, girl.
You have your regulars that come, you know, so it's always fun.
Nice.
But yeah, the
Well,
industry is the industry.
We're definitely gonna post all your links and everything so that people could
Awesome.
contact you, and if they have any interest, they know where to find you. And yeah, we'd like to thank you for
You're welcome.
hanging out with us.
Thank
Sounds
you for-
like you're a busy woman,
yeah.
and
I don't have a life.
taking
I
the
don't
time
have a
to
boyfriend. I don't have a life.
taking the
do
time to be here to
anything.
talk to us. Is,
We
we're,
were planning this
we
for like.
appreciate it.
She was supposed to be the first show. We've been planning
What?
this
Yeah.
for. Yeah, we were
Well,
planning
you
this.
know what? I couldn't be the first show because I didn't even know what a podcast was.
I had to explain to
He's
you.
all,
Right?
what's a podcast? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, you know what a podcast is, right? No.
No. I'm barely doing. I didn't even know what IG was. Everybody was like, "What is IG?" I'm like, "Instagram." Or I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." I'm
You're
A
too
sorry.
podcast is like how you were talking about the Buddhism and to just hone in on something. That's how I do.
That's
I listen
okay.
to a podcast driving to work, and it just keeps me,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
You know, I think because I had that same rage kind of like when I was driving, like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get the hell out of the way, and I can't believe
Yeah.
Every once in a while you'll get a shades of that, but for sure when I started listening to podcasts, it just went away. It's because it's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna sit in this traffic, even if I
Regardless,
change my
yeah.
lane over here, I'm gonna sit in traffic on this side. It doesn't matter. So what makes the difference? An extra 30 seconds.
It's funny you say that because I woke up this morning. I forgot to set my alarm, and usually I leave work around 4:30 in the morning. So I woke up at 6, dude. Popped out of bed. I'm out of the house. I hit the freeway. Oh, traffic.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But you know what? I had to deal with it because every month I have to drive to downtown LA to drop off the magazine to all my customers. Let me tell you, you gotta have some patience.
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
Patience. And you're not in the greatest area. And it's all, unfortunately, I mean, I'm like, why is everybody walking on the streets? Why? Because there's tents all over the
Because there's
sidewalks.
tents everywhere.
And I'm wondering why they're walking on the street. I'm getting pissed.
Yeah.
And there it's like your light can be green and they don't care. They just walk by.
Oh yeah.
I think the funniest one just recently was I saw the back of a person. I saw a bra strap and very thin, hair locked, popped up in some, I don't know, thing, do-rag or whatever. And was trying to wrap a shower curtain into a dress.
Yeah.
So I just saw the back of her, and she's struggling, and I'm at a red light, and I'm just watching her, and I'm like, this poor girl's struggling. She's not gonna be able to, put a shower curtain because shower curtains are a little silky, or they're weird. So I said, I'm like, excuse me, would you like would you like a shirt, a blouse? He turns around. He doesn't even look at me. And he says, I don't want your stupid blouse. It was a man. And that just pissed me off. And I said that you should have went with an effing home, what's it called? A living room curtain, you dumbass. Well, that would have stayed a little better.
Always go with linen.
Always go with it. But I was kind of, I was like, whoa, it threw me off. I actually thought it was a woman.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But
it's downtown LA.
That's where I had to kind of get my patience.
Yeah.
And, my boys are going to be bad that I didn't put a Peterbilt and I put a Kenworth. Sorry. But some of my boys have Kenworths. Brandon Smith's got a purple, that purple. And he's got a really nice truck. So I'm very proud of him. So, yeah. Everybody likes Peterbilts, but so do I sometimes. But
sometimes.
I know Peterbilts are my favorite, but some of the Kenworths are pretty well.
Yeah.
And even your newer trucks, they're kind of fixing them up. I'm like, well, that's not the bumper it came with. That's how pathetic I am that I know what's custom and what's not.
Know your stuff.
I know my stuff. I know my engines too because
That's
I had to learn them when I used to sell trucks.
Yeah.
If the drivers, I'm like trying to sell a truck, I'm like, what kind of engine do you have? Is it a Cummins? Is it a Cummins N14? Is it a Cummins, And they're like, what the hell? I'm like, I know my stuff. I said, I know my ratios. I know my wheelbases. I know everything.
Don't mess around.
I don't mess around. So, yeah. Well, I had to learn it when I sold the truck.
Right.
But,
That's very cool.
yeah. So, yeah, I'm the the madam of the trucking industry.
There you go. There you go. And there you have it.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, and I will see you August 12th.
Of course, we'll be
at
there.
the Whittier Narrows Park. I mean,
Yep.
we might need new helpers. You know.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
I think I got a faded shirt.
You got a faded shirt you can give them?
large. I wear a large.
There you go. August
I'm
12th,
down.
Sunday.
Whittier Narrows Park in El Monte.
Make
right
sure
off
you
the
guys
60
go.
freeway. Truck show.
Check it out.
We'll put all the links in the description.
If you're a person who wants to be a truck driver or a new truck driver, this is the place to go and meet all new trucking companies and talk to them personally and see what kind of work they have.
Yep.
And and hopefully you guys get hired on.
Check it
And go
out.
look at
Truckers
cool trucks.
Wanted. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. If you're listening, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
YouTube. We're on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're on Podbean. That's
See, I
another
don't know what all
Podbean
that stuff is.
podcast.
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
How
No
We Talk
idea.
Podcast.
All one word. Look it up. Click, subscribe, share, review. All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. See you later.